Johnny the fuck Minerals, who I don't even view as a real human being.
It's guys like Minerals.
Let's have it right.
He's not on my radar. I don't care about him.
You got the Minerals too.
One of them brown envelope mobs.
No Minerals.
Minerals. My big up Johnny. Let's have it right.
Do you know what I mean?
Johnny Minerals.
The realness of this guy.
Minerals. Let's have it right.
Minerals FC.
Need proper winning Minerals, mate.
Let's have it right. I'm just a brown envelope, or I'm
Absolutely screwed. Let's have it right.
Brown envelopes.
You brown envelopes from the club.
You got the Minerals to fight for his place.
You are in the woods wronging. Thank you, mate. Appreciate you taking the time out to say that. Cheers. This one's for you. Greetings from Centre Parks, by the way. That's the background. I hope you're all well. This is just ridiculous, though, isn't it? The Minerals.
Minerals FC. Do you know what I mean?
Johnny Minerals.
Johnny the fuck Minerals.
The Minerals. And then we know that they have the minerals with not.
There's minerals that you need.
It's guys like Minerals and
You got the Minerals too.
Let's have it right.
Minerals.
Johnny Minerals.
like Minerals is one of the very vociferous Chelsea fans.
Minerals FC mudded me. I couldn't give a shit about that guy.
Let's have it right.
Hey, Johnny's got the fucking minerals, mate.
Can everybody just stop getting shot? Let's have it right. Up the Chelsea, up the Minerals FC. Big up to every single one of you live and locked in. Hope everyone is doing well winning live. First and foremost, I want you all to smash to pieces that like button. If you haven't smashed it, smash it right now. If you haven't hit the subscribe button, make sure you do so. We got the notification bell ding dong. Let's have it right so you know when we go live. And we got the Minerals FC Ultras membership down below in the description. Salute to all the Minerals FC Ultras. Salute to our Chelsea old boys. We see things they'll never see. And salute to the no surrender mentality. And big up to Chelsea Empire, who's become a Minerals FC Ultra member. Always an Ultra. Let's have it right. And appreciate all the support on the channel. And big up to everyone. I want to say, up the Champions League. Up the Champions League. Up football heritage. This is football. What we witnessed last night. Not only last night, but the two legs of Inter Milan v Barcelona, mate, honestly, unbelievable. I was going to do just a video on this two-legged game. It's one of the best ever semi-finals that you'll ever witness up to this point for all kinds of reasons. But my, like, what are we doing here, bruv? What are we doing here? There's a lot. I mean, we're just going to run through everything. There's a lot to go through on the show. We're going to talk about, obviously, what we just witnessed, and I'm going to go straight into that. Because for me, that was football. That's what you call football. You know, everything goes out the window. Different styles, different DNAs, different mentalities. There's no AI scouting and data to measure that or to create that. You cannot include that. That is just pure football at its finest, bruv. I mean, that was incredible. 7-6 to Inter Milan. And it was just yesterday's game, last night's game. You look at the first half, it was a game of two halves to an extent. But Inter Milan going 2-0 up in the first half, steaming ahead. You think they got their foot through the door in the Champions League final. And you're asking the question, has Barcelona got the minerals? Have they got what it takes? Did they have the experience to dig it out and try and come back into this game just to level, maybe take it to extra time? And then you get the second half and they score 3 goals. And you think, shit, this is unreal. Now, Barcelona are a young team. They're a young team, but they had one player in that team. One player who played, I think he played extra time as well. That player's Frankie de Jong. They had Frankie de Jong in that midfield. The experience, the guile, the mentality. Class player. I mean, world class player. That is a player we need in our midfield, Frankie de Jong. I've been after this player for a long time. I've spoken about it many times. But in a very young team in Barcelona, Frankie de Jong was so important. And then you look at Inter Milan. It was like men v boys. You know what I'm saying? Their style of play, they're free at the back, the wing back system, wingers going close to Martinez, the midfielder Bastoni in there. I mean, what a player Bastoni is. Class, another world-class player. I mean, we were just spoiled with the amount of talent, the amount of experience, the managers in the dugout, Hansi Flick, elite serial winner, Filippo Inzaghi, serial winner as a player and as a manager. And you could just see the two styles and DNAs of these teams. The Barcelona, the trickery, the flair, the high possession football, the high line, the relentless pressing and recovery of the ball. Inter Milan, durable, strong, but with that, they got technical flair as well. Don't get it twisted. The amount of the quality in passing, the reading and the management of the game, the individual quality in the players, the experience that they hold, everything. It was just incredible. I mean, get goosebumps just talking about the game, because for me, we have witnessed pure football heritage in that game. That is why we love football. That game, the two legs, but that game in particular, where it is do or die and give everything, bleed for the badge, bleed for the shirt, bleed for the supporters. The Milan ultras going mad. The Barcelona supporters can't believe what they're witnessing with their young side, and they've been stripped. And what do we get? I mean, listen, in that game, there are certain players in the game that you just have to highlight and say you're just incredible. Now, if I'm looking at Barcelona, I've already sounded out Frankie de Jong, who for me was all the experience and goal that Barcelona needed. But the player he was playing with, Pedri's a joke. What a baller. What a baller. Now, we know he's got talent. And we know him and Gavi, because Gavi had a bad injury. Gavi and Pedri together, that's the future. But Frankie de Jong with Pedri, my, bruv. I mean, the beautiful game. The beautiful game. Pedri was the catalyst to that comeback from Barcelona. He's the reason, the dynamic passing, the keeping the possession. Reminded me a combination of a Iniesta Xavi type player. Frankie de Jong doing what a Xavi does, just dictating, passing, keeping the tempo of the game. But those two were incredible. And then you have to look at Rafinha, who's come from Leeds, shown talent, and on the big stage, I mean, the geezer was phenomenal. And he was going, if you watched him, he was trying to get into the striker position, trying to pull the Inter Milan defence towards him to release space for Lamine Yamal, 17 years of age, and this kid is lighting it up. I mean, he's landing the fucking minerals. What a player! What a wonderful talent. Touts to win Ballon d'Or, and it's between him, Rafinha, Dembele. Dembele we're going to see tonight, and we're going to talk about tonight's game. But for me, Yamal, even though he didn't score, the effect this kid has, man. I mean, the ability to just drift past players, speed, intelligence, technical ability, trickery. The geezer's got a shot on him. I mean, he's just that's when you look at young players and go, that is super youth talent. That is generational minerals right now. Absolute baller. Absolute baller. None of these teams is. I mean, imagine that as a Champions League final. But it's sad that one has to get knocked out. For me personally, I'm rooting for Inter Milan because I can't stand Barcelona, and that's because of our history with Barcelona and Chelsea. So for me, cry your eyes out like Liam Gallagher in Porto, Barcelona. You can go home and win no Champions League trophy. And Hansi Flick, I mean, this is what I'm saying. When you've got a young team, but you've got a general in the dugout, a tactician, a mentality monster. It doesn't matter if you've got a young squad. I mean, obviously, it matters with the quality that you have in that squad. But if you've got some experience in there as well to fall back on, then you can reap the rewards. That game was exceptional, the highest level. That is what you call elite, absolute elite. Now, when I look at Inter Milan and I look at their players, Thuram, incredible, Warrior, Martinez, who actually went off eventually. But there's one player in particular that I go to in this game that I think is the best in the world in his position. And that player for me is Bastoni. Bastoni, elite, world-class centre-back. Unbelievable player. A player I want. A player I've been screaming out. If you want the best of the best, if you want to compete at the highest level, you need to try and pip and get players like Bastoni, bruv. Bastoni back three, slots into DM position. He can push up forward. He's always forward thinking. The clearances and tackles he made last night were world class, elite level, bruv. He's just absolute world class. Bastoni, for me, the best in the world. He's better than Van Dijk. I don't care what you tell me, bruv. I don't care what you tell me. Right now in the world, he's the best. He's the best. At a young age as well. What are we doing here? So for me, unbelievable player, Bastoni. You've got Barella in the midfield. Dumfries, what a player. I mean, he was playing like Macon, bruv, back in the day for Inter Milan under Jose Mourinho. Up and down, threatening. Their counter-attacking football is of another world. The do-or-die mentality. And when you look at that first half, you know, Martinez gets his goal and then he gets fouled and everyone's like, oh, is that a penalty? Is it not a penalty? I think that's a penalty. When you look at it, it's a penalty. Their veteran, what's his name? I have to write, I can't even pronounce. Kalanoglu, who's 32 years old, 33 years old, bags the penalty, 2-0 up. You think, wow, Barcelona dead and buried. And they dominated that first half. You looked at it and you thought Barcelona, they didn't look like they settled in the game. Then you go to the second half, and from the get-go, and I want to let everyone know, yeah, at half time when the whistle was blown, the camera went to Yamal, and Yamal was looking at his players, going, "Come on," tapping them all. And for 17 years of age, a player like that, I looked at him and I go, "This kid's got some fucking serious mentality about him. Like he's not giving up. He knows that they can go toe to toe with these lot. They've proved that in the first leg, and he's shown mentality there for such a young age." And did he light it up in the second half? Second half, he was all over the gaff. He was unbelievable. They get the goal from what's his name, Garcia, a thunderbolt goal. Danny Olmo scores the second, and then Rafinha with the equalising goal. Sorry, no, what am I talking about? Yeah, that was what they thought was the winning goal. And we all thought that. We all thought remontada, Barcelona, that they won 3-2. And that was it. Because Inter Milan couldn't get out. They couldn't hold the ball. They didn't create nothing. And you're looking at Inter Milan going, they're dead and buried now. And it was the way the game was just swinging like a pendulum, bruv. You just didn't know which way it was going to go. And Barcelona took it and they dug out minerals. And Pedri was catalyst to that. De Jong, Rafinha, Lamine Yamal. They were all contributing, and they were playing the Barcelona way, that their DNA of it was like watching a prime Barcelona back in the day, the way they were just toying with Inter Milan. And then it comes. The centre-back of Inter Milan in the dying minutes of injury time. I swear it was 90 plus 3 minutes. So it was in injury time, and it was a Kirby, their veteran, who's never scored in the Champions League for Inter Milan, gets his goal, scoring like a number 9. And you see the geezer rips off, and he's got a work of art on him, bruv, tattooed up from head to toe. What we doing here, bruv? You know what I'm saying? Inked out all day long. And the geezer's throwing his shirt and they think they think they won it kind of thing. That's free. And you're going, this is incredible, bruv. So we're going into extra time. Yamal with that strike and Summer, bruv. I swear, didn't he play for Newcastle? Was it him? Did he play for Newcastle? I can't remember, bruv. What team did he play for? Let me know in the chat. But this guy pulls out pretty much, I don't know if you call it a worldie save, but in that moment with the high intensity levels and everything at stake, and that's it. Everything at stake, the save that he makes was fucking out of this world, bro. Everyone thought that was in. Everyone thought that was the winner for Barcelona. Everyone, including myself. And he pulls out that world-class save. And then what happens? Inzaghi makes the substitutions. And he brings on Fratesi. And this kid, I think he's young. I don't think he's old. Fratesi, let me have a look. How old is Fratesi, bruv? Let me have a quick butchers, bruv. Fratesi. Let's see. Davide Fratesi. He's 25 years old. Comes on and scores the winning goal. Absolute limbs. Goes up, climbs up towards the Inter Milan ultras. Saluting, bruv. And that's it. You look at that and go, they've done it. They've won the game. They've won the game. And Inter Milan go through. And Inter Milan, out of where you thought they were dead and buried, that is what you call experience. This is where you have to dig out your minerals deep down to find the winner, to find the solution, to win the game, to get over the line. Because it could have gone either way. It could have gone to penalties. Bruv. Inter Milan, at their ground, the San Siro lit up. They win it. They won it. This is why we love football. Because let's have it right. Football's been boring. Football has been destroyed. No disrespect to Pep Guardiola and the DNA of Johan Cruyff and the whole way of playing and the philosophy of Johan Cruyff and the Barcelona tiki-taka and all this. It has been destroyed, and our English football and our league has been destroyed by that. And when Ruud Gullit come out and Bowley didn't even know who Ruud Gullit was, and Ruud Gullit is football heritage. He's up there with the football gods. He's played in the 4-4-2 formation with AC Milan, with one of the greatest ever AC Milan teams and greatest teams of football. He's played with Johan Cruyff. He's played the 4-3-3 formation of Johan Cruyff. Now it's all 4-4-3 delusion. It's all inverted tiki-taka triangles. It's about the DNA of football clubs. The DNA of Inter Milan was literally in full flow. The DNA of Barcelona was clear to see, crystal clear. The DNA of Enrique and PSG is there to see. The tiki-taka of Pep Guardiola at Man City, that DNA is their DNA now because he's embedded that DNA. And it takes time and it takes backing and it needs a hierarchy, and it needs a structure in place. It needs the right recruitment policy. It needs the right directors. It needs everything aligned. The DNA in most clubs, or because of everyone wanting to plagiarize this whole tiki-taka DNA of football, cannot be done. And Chelsea's DNA is not there. We haven't got a DNA of Chelsea. We saw a bit of the DNA of what we recognise as Chelsea against Liverpool and Liverpool's B team, but that's not the DNA that they're trying to instill, and that's not Enzo Maresca's so-called philosophy and DNA. So we have to question that, all right? But Hansi Flick, he has a way of playing with Bayern Munich. He has a philosophy, and he won the sextuple with Bayern Munich. He's come to Barcelona, and he's playing that. He's instilled and reignited the Barcelona DNA and the style of players that they have, the use of the academy and the players that they're signing and they're recruiting now, building a team and building a philosophy, and they've got an elite manager with that. It's the DNA of football, what we witnessed last night, and that has been destroyed by this tiki-taka. Last night wasn't about tiki-taka. Last night was about two styles of play, two club histories and heritages coming together. A new generation of Barcelona, a kind of new Inter Milan with the old. And I wanna raise this year. The goalkeeper Summers that they bought cost them 5 million. Yeah. They sold Onana at Man United for 45, 50 million, whatever it was. All right. But I want to bring up a very important point here, that Inter Milan are owned by a private equity firm. And they've been financing with debt, similar to what these clowns are doing. But what they've done is that they're called Oak Tree. They basically handed over the club, the management of the club, to Giuseppe Marotta and Javier Zanetti, who played for Inter Milan, let's have it right, in that great treble winning side as well under Jose Mourinho, who's a legend at Inter Milan, and former Juventus CEO and club legend. Because they want to instill what? They might be a private equity firm. They might run their financials on that side of things. But what have they implemented? What have they created a structure for? To reignite and keep the bloodline of the DNA of Inter Milan. And that is what we saw last night. Last night was the DNA of Inter Milan. This is what club owners do not pay attention to, because their only interest is financials. But you instill the DNA, you recognize the heritage, the history, you bring the right people in charge that understand the heritage and the DNA of the clubs that you're owning, then you will reap the rewards and you will reinstill the connection between the hierarchy, the coach, the manager, the players that you bring in, the recruitment policy, and the connection between the supporters and the ownership and the club and the players. And if you have that all aligned, you are destined for great things. All the great teams, all the ones that show and display that DNA, they actually go on to win the major honours. That is what carries them through. Sometimes it's not just about having the best players and having the best manager, and you can have all the structure aligned, but you need all of these things connected as one to create what? Unity, the right direction, the right philosophy, the right mentality, togetherness. That is the formula. You need the DNA connected, running within the club. And that is what pulls you through in moments of high intensity with everything at stake for the beautiful game and for what we all love to watch and what these players are playing for, which is to win trophies, not trust the process, to win in the now, to deliver the DNA. You need the connection of the supporters. You need the management. You need the directors in line. You need the ownership all on the right path. You need the right players. You need all the ingredients, all the minerals put together. For that, when you look at DNA as it spirals, it's all connected. At Chelsea, it's all disjointed, bruv. It's all disconnected. And that's why there is no true progression. There is no true process to trust into, because the DNA is for financials, not for the beautiful game. And we are bored of football. I'm bored of watching football. I'm bored of these games. I don't want to see Arsenal get through to the final against Inter Milan. Listen, they'll get beaten by Inter Milan. Inter Milan are levels above an Arsenal. Arsenal are not worthy. The style of football is like Stoke City. It's not tiki-taka. It's phase 5. They're boring to watch. They're not They're not an elite team. They haven't got elite players. They haven't got an elite manager. They don't have the mentality. It's all PR. I don't want to see Arsenal reach that final. Even if they do, they ain't going to win it. But I don't even want to see that. Yeah, we're all supporting Paris Saint-Germain tonight. Now, my prediction was always Paris Saint-Germain to win. A lot of people are witnessing Inter Milan going, they're destined to win it after that episode with Barcelona, or whoever wins that two-legged tie with the amazing football that we witnessed, and the scoreline and the end-to-end goals and the drama and the play of emotions. It was up and down. It was mad. Yeah, because that's why we love the football. You know, that's what it's all about. You cannot buy that. There is no price for that. It's priceless. Because football's about emotions. It's heart. It's love. It's the soul. You know what I'm saying? Tonight's game, my prediction for the whole Champions League, ever since I saw Paris Saint-Germain beat Liverpool, and the way they dominated Liverpool, the champions of England, that for me, they're the ones that are going to win the Champions League. I think even though Inter Milan have fought the way they have, and they've got mentality and they've got experience and strength, and they have got technical ability, I think Paris Saint-Germain are a better version of Barcelona. They play very similar styles of football, but for me, Paris Saint-Germain with Luis Enrique, elite gaffer, he's got the right blend of experience and young players and real quality, and they show a mentality. And for me, I think they are at the right level right now, and the right time for them to go all the way and win the Champions League. And I think Paris Saint-Germain are going to win it, and I think it's their year. And I think Luis Enrique just has that something different. And I think Inter Milan will struggle with the amount of guile, experience, firepower, and the final third, how dangerous they are with PSG. I don't think they'll be able to handle that. And it won't. And they got a better defense. They've got a better defense than Barcelona. So for me, I can't see Arsenal doing anything against Paris Saint-Germain tonight. The Paris Saint-Germain ultras will be there. The stadium is volatile. It's aggressive, bruv. Yeah, it's true ultra mentality. And I think they all can feel it. They can all believe it. They're all behind Luis Enrique. They're behind the players. They got Dembele, Kvaratskhelia. They got Doué. They got Marquinhos. They got Hakimi. They got Vitinha. They got Nunes. They've got a blend of play. They've got that Mendes left back, class player. They've got everything in there. So for me, bruv, PSG are going to win it, bruv. I think they're going to be the champions of Europe, and deservedly so. Do you know why I say that? They've had the harder run, in my opinion. I think that they've played the best football. I think they've got the most exciting way of playing. I think they've got the best style of football. I love the manager, Luis Enrique. I mean, I wanted him at Chelsea Football Club, and this is the reason why, because I know what he's capable of. And that is a project for football. That is the beautiful game. If you want to watch the beautiful game, Paris Saint-Germain have got all the minerals there. Arsenal are dead. They're boring as fuck, and they're not good enough. And I want to be doing a review tonight, making sure that, you know what I'm saying, we're bantering them bottle job goons up in North London. Dembele is out. It doesn't matter to me. They got Kvaratskhelia. They got Doué. They've got enough quality in that team to do the damage at their ground to Arsenal Football Club. Saka's giving it all the big and going, it's not over yet, you know, and all this. Declan Rice saying we've got to give it all and we've got to make history. Bruv, you ain't going to make no history, bruv. You know, where is Bend It like Declan Rice? Because I haven't seen him bend it since Real Madrid. I think that was their cup final. I think that was their greatest ever Champions League night, and that's what they're going to witness. I think, to be honest with you, PSG are going to have too much. And I want Luis Enrique to land the minerals on Lego Head and Arsenal Football Club. But either way, my prediction, PSG will win the Champions League. Let's have it right. I don't see it any other way. And while we were witnessing, and big up to Chelsea Empire, my geezer, while we were witnessing that unbelievable game of football yesterday, a proper game of football, just after the game ended, we got Meatloaf Tout Bowley talking about the Chelsea project. Yeah? He says, when we originally bought the club, we agreed initially that we had 15 or 20 years to figure this out. But this is a big project in a really interesting city like London, where there's a lot of constituencies that have an option. I think everyone recognizes that a club as big as Chelsea should have a stadium that reflects the size of the club. And ultimately, that's going to be a strategic advantage. This is via Bloomberg. Now, I'm getting sick to death of hearing this Meatloaf Tout Bowley, who will do anything for pound notes, non-stop talking about a stadium. And where are we going with 18 to 20 years, bruv? I don't want these lot at our football club for 18, 20 years. When has this geezer ever come out and mentioned once about winning trophies? When did that, when that Swiss merchant got interviewed, yeah, why was he not asked, are you going to bring the success of Roman Abramovich? Are you going to win trophies? What is your ambition? Where did I hear this guy talk about winning trophies? The geezer doesn't even like football. When have we heard Siri Merchant or Jose Feliciano come out and say we want to win every trophy that can be won? We want to dominate football. We love football. We know what Chelsea is about. We've seen the success of Roman Abramovich and we want to build upon that. When have we fucking heard this come out of them? Never. Never once. All we get is stadium rebuild. And the reason they can't rebuild or relocate is because they don't have the financials to do it. We'll be in even further debt than we already are. And that's why Champions League football is so important to them, that they get it. Are we, as Chelsea, are we going to be able to compete? Have you seen the level of football we just witnessed last night? Have you seen that level of football? How elite that is? Do you honestly believe that we have got the right manager, the right recruitment policy, the right structure, the right players, the right DNA to be able to perform at that level, at that high intensity, and play consistently in our domestic league? Bruv, get out of here, man. Get out of here. Get out of here. Liverpool won the Premier League and they couldn't even beat PSG. There is no ambition. We never hear them talk about trophies. All we get them talking about is stadium rebuilds. We're not interested in that. I'm not interested in that. And for these lot to say that they're going to be here for 20 years, have a day off, because you're a long way from Starbucks. If you think that you're going to last 20 years at this football club, no fucking chance. I'm not having it, bruv. That tells you the state of Chelsea when we're witnessing that football last night, to then get a PR copy and paste merchants pushing the narrative that Bowley's just spoken out saying we're going to be here for 18 to we need 18 to 20 years to relocate and build a stadium. Bruv, we're done. We are fucking done. I'm sorry. That is not ambition. You can't even get the football right. Let me read you something. Let me read you something out, yeah? Let me read you something out. Listen to this. All right? Raheem Sterling, 47.5 million. Koulibaly, 33 million. Cucurella, 60 million. Fofana, 75 million. Aubameyang, 10.3 million. Chukwuemeka, 20 million. Cassidy, 16.8 million. Slonina, 8.1 million. Zakaria on loan. João Felix on loan. Mikhailo Mudryk, 88.5 million. Benoit Badashile, 35 million. Madueke, 29 million. Enzo Fernandez, 106.8 million. Datro Fofana, 10 million. Andre Santos, 18 million. Christopher Nkunku, 52 million. Nicholas Jackson, 32 million. Disasi, 38.8 million. Sanchez, 25 million. Casado, 105 million. Romeo Lavia, 53 million. Ugochukwu, 23.2 million. Cole Palmer, 40 million. Angelo Gabriel, 13 million. David Washington, 13.7 million. Petrovic, 12.5 million. Moriera on a free. Pedro Neto, 51.3 million. João Felix then bought for 44.5 million. Drew Spree Wedding Hall, 30 million. Jorgensen, 20.7 million. Kellerman, 19 million. Anselmino, 15.6 million. Renato Viega, 11.8 million. Caleb Wiley, 8.5 million. Mark Guy, 5 million. Tozin on a free. Uncle Tozin. Eddie Beach, undisclosed. Sturge on a free. Tyler Diblin, 1.7 million. Amari Hutchinson on a free, sold for 30 million. Amugu, 12 million. Kendry Pyers, 17.5 million. Isugo, 18 million. You've got Esteval William, which was 50 plus million. We've also got, what's his name? The player from Alugo and Quenda from Sporting Lisbon, another 5 million euros, yeah? 1.6 billion spent now. And where they've recouped money is from Cobham players, right? We have spent all that money on those signings, on those players. And you're telling me that you trust the process, you trust the directors, you trust bringing in Enzo Maresca to take us to the holy grail of Champions League football, to win the Premier League countless back-to-back. You're deluded. That is a disgrace. That is an absolute disgrace. 1.6 billion of dross, of mid, of unproven quality, of so-called potential based on AI scouting and data. Last night, what did the data tell me? Yamal didn't get a GA in that game last night, but he was one of the best players on the pitch and he's up for Ballon d'Or. So fuck your XG porn merchantry data. I'm not interested in that. I don't give a shit about it. It's got no meaning to me. We go by eye test. We go by context. We go by measuring by football and the beautiful game. Data is killing our football club. Moneyball's killing our football club. And yet, everyone is propagandaing it all. Everyone's trying to hype up Enzo Maresca. Everyone's trying to hype up all these players. Everyone's trying to overhype and glorify the amazing talent that these clowns are buying. And let's add that they're not only bought all these players, how many of them have been sold after 6 months or loaned out? How many of them have been sold after a season? How many times are we going in and out of the market? Does Inter Milan do that? Is Barcelona doing that? Is Real Madrid doing that? Is Manchester City doing that? Is Liverpool doing that? And we're getting PR'd by Pornstein and Fabrizio that Liverpool and Arsenal are so scared of the Chelsea project and the ambition. Is this a wind-up? What are they scared of? We ain't competing. We beat a dead Liverpool, a Liverpool that didn't give a shit, a B-side Liverpool who outclassed us and outperformed us, and we got very fortunate in the game. Cole Palmer having a top game. We got a deflected own goal. We got a penalty in the last 3 minutes of the game. And obviously we got the first goal, you know what I'm saying? Early goal. But that's about it really. You know? You can't measure Chelsea and where they are on that game. You can't measure it in the Conference League. It's a run of games. But now we're going to play a Newcastle away who want top 5. They're competing with us. We've got to play Man United, who, let's have it right, are dead and buried, but they're still in the Europa League final. And we've got to play Nottingham Forest, who are competing for top 5 at their ground. So 2 away games, 1 home game left. all cup finals. And we've been gifted an extra spot of 5th spot. If we didn't have the 5th spot and it was between top 4, there's no way you're getting Champions League. He's very lucky. These are not the standards at Chelsea. And this is because there is no DNA at Chelsea. There is no true plan and ambition at Chelsea. And everyone is propagandering it again. I don't want to, I just don't understand it. You cannot watch last night. You cannot watch the leg previously. You cannot watch Arsenal v PSG. You cannot watch all these games in Champions League football of elite level and tell me, oh, we're definitely on the right path. Oh, yeah, we're definitely going to be competing like that. We're not far behind. We're light years behind all these levels of teams. Light years. We're fucking way behind Liverpool at this rate. And Man City are above us. They've had the worst season they've ever had under Pep Guardiola. And they're above us. You know what I'm saying? We're not elite. We're very lucky. We're very lucky to be where we are because the league has been so poor. Liverpool are quite lucky to win the league because no one else was really consistent enough. Everyone else fallen off a cliff. And it's the problem. I'm sick and tired of all this overhype, all this toxic positivity PR because it's a lie. It's deception at its finest. Because we're not playing that level of elite football. And you put us in them games against the Champions League, we ain't fucking having a chance. We ain't doing what even Barcelona did. No way, bruv. No way. It's not happening. It's not happening. So now I want to go on to something, right? And make sure everyone is smashing the like button. I want everyone to smash the like button, right? Because this is the type of bullshit PR that I cannot stand to hear. And this has come from The Athletic. This has come from Simon Johnson, all right, from The Athletic. He says Chelsea players did not get to bed until 5 a.m. on Friday after standard doping test took place afterwards. And the travel home from Sweden, it meant Enzo Maresca had only one intense 90-minute session to get his squad ready for the Liverpool game. I'm sorry, but that is a fucking embarrassment. How you even PRing that shit is beyond me. But let's not forget that we lost to our under 16s and under 21-year-olds behind closed doors for an 80-minute game of football, and they were our first team footballs when it was international break. Yeah? What we doing here? This is all to glorify Enzo Maresca like he's doing an amazing job. And maybe he is slightly overachieving because the squad isn't that great. And who else came out of it recently? Someone came out yesterday or today and said that Cole Palmer, Jermaine Jenners, Cole Palmer is carrying Chelsea Football Club. How many times have we said that? It's Cole Palmer FC. Without Cole Palmer playing and at a level, we do not turn up. Now, people can call me negative all you want, but the bottom line is, these are the facts. This is the truth. And the truth is always deemed as negative. But this is the reality at Chelsea, you know. We are now getting, now we are getting this, right? And not forget that Enzo Maresca came at the Chelsea supporters. Direct attack. Attacking us, saying it's because of the environment and the Chelsea supporters that we conceded goals, that we lost the game and this and that, right? And now everyone's brown nosing him. You got the Goldfish getting Drury on, who's part of Sky Sports and TNT, is it? Or whatever it is, CBS commentator. He's actually part of Football Heritage. How this geezer's gone on his platform, all right? And talking about Enzo Maresca and, well, he got the best out of Cole Palmer, and now, you know, because Cole Palmer wasn't playing, is that all on Maresca? Hyping up Maresca, trying to take away the blame from Maresca, all right? And this geezer's sitting on there with his Ray-Bans on, like it's all sunshine and rainbows now. It's all sunshine and rainbows now that we've beaten Liverpool, and oh, maybe we get top 4 But it's not all sunshine and rainbows normally when we're getting called out as a brown envelope. You know, brown envelopes get brown envelopes on. And this is the problem. We get toxic positivity pushed in and injected into this fan base, all right, of delusion of the highest order. Everyone asked the question, right? Why is Reece James not playing? Why is Reece James not starting against Liverpool, not starting against Arsenal, not starting in must-win Premier League games? Why is it that this geezer comes out and goes, oh, I only see him as a midfielder, but then he's played him as a right back or he's played him as a left centre back? So if you only see him as a midfielder, why are you playing him other positions? Why is he playing him in Conference League games? Why is he playing him on a plastic pitch in the Conference League if you're trying to manage him so that he doesn't get injured? Now, I don't want to hear this narrative that Reece James, we've got to protect him because we don't want him to get injured. Oh, he's protecting from injury. It's a load of bullshit. You risk playing your best right back, one of the world-class players, the only world-class players that we got in our squad, Chelsea DNA, a captain at Chelsea. You play him in the squeaky bum time moments. You play him in the must-win games. And all we're getting now is PR. Oh, Reece James can't get in the squad. We're playing Casado right back so that we can play Lavia and fit in fucking who? Who are we fitting in? Enzo Fernandez. Why does he play inverted fullbacks? Because of Enzo Fernandez. Why does he need two fucking DMs? Because of Enzo Fernandez. Why can't he play Reece James as a right back? Because of Enzo Fernandez. So everything that this gaffer does is based around Enzo Fernandez. And he's even come out and says, we want to get his GA up. We want to allow him to push up the pitch so that everyone else can do the dog work because he can't do it. He's a training cone. All tatted up. And he's been given the captaincy after the start of the season being clipped up for being outright racist on an Argentina bus. And it's all forgotten. No one gives a shit. That's my captain. That's my guy, Enzo Fernandez. He's the face of Chelsea. But the true face of Chelsea in Reece James is benched. And we get Rahman Osman. Yeah? Rahman Osman, who comes out. Let me get up what he said. He says, I've been thinking about Reece James all morning and how fast football moves on. Enzo Maresca is demanding that he does something different. This will not only this will test not only his footballing ability, but his character. My piece on his situation, right? And Simon Phillips quote tweets or takes a quote from the article and says, when your club captain, Reece James, still only 25 and one of the top earners at the club, can't find a place in the 11, questions need to be asked of the player, the manager and the long-term plan. Well, let's have it right. The key out of all that is because he's one of the top earners on 250 grand a week. The other key factor is he's a Cobham player, so he's 100% pure profit. They're hiding behind the whole keep him fit narrative. And people will go, oh, don't play Reece because we're trying to keep him fit. But yet against Liverpool, he brought on Gusto instead of Reece James. He played Casado right back instead of Reece James. But yet, why can't Reece James invert and go into midfield if Enzo Maresca only sees him as a midfielder? So if he only sees him as a midfielder, then play him as a midfielder. If you only see him as that. But clearly, Thomas Tuchel says he's a fullback. He's a wing back. He's a right centre back. That's the only way he sees Reece James. And we've seen Reece James the best in the world in that position. So someone's talking bullshit here. Sounds like you're trying to force Reece James out. And you're starting the agenda on Reece James by backing it up and saying, yeah, we're trying to manage his minutes because of injury, but we'll play him on a plastic pitch in Sweden where he could get injured. We'll play him in the Conference League. We'll play him as left centre-back, so his body has to adjust playing left centre-back instead of playing in his natural position as a right centre-back. Shut the fuck up. And Osman is putting out this article and everyone's moaning about it. Oh, it's toxic. Oh, it's negative. No, it's actually sounding it out for what it is, because Enzo Maresca's a yes man. And Enzo Maresca, are you telling me that no world-class manager would want to play Reece James or have him in his squad? And he's our captain, for crying out loud. He's our captain. This is why Reece James is being forced out, because he's on 250 grand a week. And if he gets Champions League football, he goes up to over 300 grand a week. That's why Nkunku's been forced out, because he's on about 200 grand a week. And he's been completely exiled. That's why Trev was exiled, sent on loan to be brought back, because now he's upped his value. He's shown that he's our best central defender, and he's pure profit. Levi Colwill will be pure profit. Tyreek George will be pure profit, because they need that pure profit for the books. It's no coincidence we get Damak for the last 6 games of the season as a cash injection for £1 million a game. That's no coincidence. Without them being our official shirt sponsor going forward, or for the Club World Cup. Every decision made at this football club is not based upon football, the manager, the culture, the DNA, the intent to win trophies at this football club. Every decision made is based on financials. And these brown envelopes keep fucking covering it up and hiding it and justifying all the decisions, hyping up all the decisions. The reality is, Reece James should be in our first 11 every single game. If he's fit, you play him and you risk playing him, especially when everything lies on getting Champions League football. But now we're getting, we've got Lavia, who's never fit anyway. We've got Lavia and we've got Casado and we've got Enzo Fernandez. We've got the best midfield in football. No, we don't have the best midfield in football. We do not have the best midfield in football. If we had the best midfield in football, we'd be challenging for the Premier League right now. But we don't. We don't have the best defence in world football. We do not have the best attack in world football. We definitely don't have the best goalkeeper in world football. So this is the type of bullshit PR that everyone's getting all the time. And I'm sick. I'm sick, because this is now how the agenda on Reece James starts, where supporters will go, oh, it's all right. We'll sell Reece James. We can't trust he's fit anyway. Well, then you should use that same narrative towards what's his name? Lavia. Oh, but Lavia's the glue. Lavia's the glue. Why can't Reece James play with Lavia and Casado in midfield? Why can't you have a midfield of Lavia, Casado, Cole Palmer as the 10, and Reece James playing right back? Why can't you do that? Oh, because you've got to play Enzo Fernandez. Everything is to accommodate Enzo Fernandez. Everything tactically. I hope you do all realise that. And yet his GA still ain't through the roof. He's still gone missing in countless games. He still hasn't delivered at this football club. And he still would be very tempted for a move to Real Madrid. The ultimate facts are, everything at Chelsea's for sale. There is nothing we are building. Yeah? Because if we were building, we would have bought Osimhen by now. We would have been trying to get Bastoni. We would have been trying to get Diogo Costa, the goalkeeper. we wouldn't be signing multiple wingers, multiple fucking midfielders, multiple defenders, multiple goalkeepers. It doesn't make sense, because why would you do that? You want to build a squad of 25 players of elite level. No, these lot have bought 90 players. We've got 90 players on the books right now. And how many of them are worthy and good enough and at the right elite level to play Champions League football and to carry us to win a Premier League title? Gyökeres is there. Wirtz is there. Kvaratskhelia was there. You didn't go and get him. Well, you're definitely not going to get a Bastoni now, because Bastoni, he ain't leaving Inter Milan unless money talks. You know what I'm saying? Money talks. Barella's clear of Enzo Fernandez. Absolutely clear, bruv. He's got everything in his locker. Right age as well. In fact, every single defender into Milan is levels above what we got or what these clans have bought. Barcelona's attack's better than ours. PSG's attack's better than ours. Even Liverpool's attack's better. So where are we going? What's the benchmark here? What's the standard here? They don't have the answers. Do you know why they don't have the answers? Because if they do answer you, they lie. Gary Neville, not Gary Neville, what am I talking about? I can't understand how Reece James doesn't get into the first team. Well, I've explained it. I know why. Oh, yeah, we're getting prop with Heinsohn, Kittens, Delap. And they're the ones that are going to help us in the Champions League. They're going to compete against all these teams that we're witnessing in the Champions League. This is delusion of the highest order. Yeah? Big up Chelsea Empire. Says Mudryk and Noni are 24 years old and 17 years old Yamal is landing the minerals while we are all waiting on Noni and Mudryk. Blue Co recruitment is in the mud. It's not only that. Cole Palmer's just turned 23 or 24. Noni's 24 years old. Sancho's 25 going on 26. Jackson's almost 24 years old. These are not kids. These are not kids. It's a fugazi. We're buying young talent. They're not young. We had players that were younger than that won us Champions League on the biggest stage. But they had experience around them. We had a spine. We had a mentality. We had a DNA. We had an elite gaffer. You cannot achieve great things without what I've just mentioned. You cannot do it. Granted, Lavia makes us play better, helps all the balance, but you cannot rely on him for a whole season. And if we get Champions League, is he going to be able to play both Champions League and Premier League at the highest level to compete at the highest level and stay fit? Wesley Fofana, another one. What's the bets? The majority of these players that we've got in our team are not going to be here next year. And then what's everyone going to say? Oh, we need to give it time. We need to give it another 2 years. We need the players to bed in. We need the players to gel again. No. This is phase 3. We're going into phase 4. And I really want Champions League football because I want everyone to see the reality, actually. Because the reality is this squad's not going to be able to cope playing both. It's not going to cope with all the other teams that are going to improve, not just in the Premier League, but in European football. All the other European clubs, they're going to strengthen. They're going to improve. They're going to have more experience in the Champions League than what we got. Scary. It's very, very scary. I can't lie. So Enzo Maresca has come out today. Maresca says winning a trophy would be a statement and to build a winning mentality with this team. Well, of course, because they haven't won anything. 3 years under Blue Cone, we ain't won nothing. Maresca sees Caicedo more as a 6. So why are you playing him a right back? Lavia is a 6. For Enzo Fernandez, Maresca says we are trying to get his goal and assist numbers up. So everything, as I've been saying, the way and the team selections is to what? To accommodate Enzo Fernandez. Why? Is he not good enough to play having a Caicedo and Lavia or one of them in the midfield with him? Why is he not good enough to do that? It's bullshit. Maresca was asked which was a success, winning the Conference League or getting Champions League football. He rightfully didn't answer the question. Well, the correct answer is none of them is a success. Because that's not Chelsea level and that's not elite mentality level. That's bare minimum requirement. You know, we've got the opportunity to win the Conference League and be the only club in history to win every single European trophy. And we will always be that. Do you know why? Because you're not going to see Man City, Liverpool, Real Madrid, Barcelona, Inter Milan, all these great teams, PSG. They're not going to finish to play Conference League football, so they're never going to get the opportunity to play in it. Unless they get a new ownership and they get sabotaged and destroyed and so-called trust the process that they unluckily fall into that bracket. So we're always going to hold that title. Nice title, great. But it's still embarrassing that none of the biggest clubs in the world football are going to be ever playing that competition because they're so ahead of it. Also, the Europa League and Conference League has been weakened because none of the teams drop out from the Champions League and none of the teams drop out from the Europa League into the Conference League. So it's a weak competition now, both Europa League and Conference League. You've got to take all this into context. Enzo Vander says there are 3 games to go. Champions League football next season isn't secured yet, but this win has given us so much confidence that we can achieve our objective, which is getting Champions League next season. Oh, so it is an objective because we were told by Enzo Maresca top 4 is for next year and then a 2-year project. He hasn't heard anything from the ownership to get top 4, but now we're hearing from the player, oh, it is an objective. You see, the narrative goes wherever it suits the ownership. And that's the brown envelope matrix for you. Yeah? I've got something here. Check this out. The most valuable football clubs in the world. Number 1, Real Madrid, valued at $6.7 billion. Manchester United, $6 billion. Barcelona, $5.6 billion. Liverpool, $5.4 billion. And Manchester City, $5.2 billion. And Chelsea's not on that list. Real Madrid and Manchester United are the most valuable clubs in world football at $6+ billion. And I have to reiterate that Blueco have taken the 1.2 billion debt with double-digit interest rates, which has to be paid over a 10-year period. So for Clear Lake, they're not interested like Meatloaf tout Bowley about a stadium for 18 to 20 years because their plans for 10 years to sell the club, right? To pay off the debt and to get their 3 times return. In order for them to get the 3 times return, pay the debt, they have to sell the club at 8+ billion. So why is Chelsea going to be worth 8+ billion in 10 years and Real Madrid, Man United are not? Because they're only worth 6+ billion. Delusion! Delusion! They bought it at a cut price from Roman. Roman at best would have sold Chelsea for maybe 5 billion, 5.5 billion. And because of where it is. Yeah? Where we were then. Now, in our current state, we're nowhere near worth any of that. Nowhere near it. Facts. So have it right. So, what's he saying now? He says, Kieran Gill has said Cole Palmer does not have any hidden release clause in his contract if Chelsea do not qualify for the Champions League. It is utter rubbish. Is it though? Is it though? Is it though? Or is that another wonderful brief? You know what I'm saying? Is it another wonderful brief? I don't trust what any brown envelope comes out and says, and nor should you. No one should trust it. Yeah? Because they're all full of shit. Every single one of them. Facts. So, all the chat. What is your prediction for tonight with PSG v Barcelona? Land all your predictions in the chat. I'm going to go with listen, Arsenal haven't scored for 6 games. Is it something like that? Away. Is the Vidal Sassoon merchant going to turn up? Is Declan bend it like Declan Rice? Is he going to turn up? Who's going to turn up? Saka, is he going to turn up? This tells you about the standards are in the mud, where you're looking at Yamal, who's 17 years old, and everyone overhyped Saka, going, he's generational, he's world class. All the Arsenal supporters anyway, you know. It's mad to me. It's mad. 2-1 PSG, 3-1 PSG. You don't trust PSG because they're bottlers. Nah, they're not bottlers, bruv. Not with this gaffer. Not with this gaffer. I don't see it, bruv. Enrique's got it, mate. I'm telling you. Enrique's got it. He's got all the minerals, mate. Everyone smash the like button as well. Let's get the likes up. Respect to everyone in here. Always supporting the channel. We're also getting reports here by Simon Johnson from The Athletic. Chelsea are not planning to sign another goalkeeper for now. That means a decision will be made between Sanchez, Petrovic, Jorgensen and Penders. I'm hearing Penders going on loan. Who will complete a move to Genk, with the latter most likely to be sent on loan. So again, we are a sell to buy club, and we are advertising players every season, and they're going to get Champions League football. But next year, if we get Champions League football, I still don't think we'll get Champions League football. I'll be real. I don't think we will. I don't think we'll beat Newcastle. We should beat Man United, and I don't think we'll beat Nottingham Forest. I think we could get 2 draws and a win, and that's not enough. You know what I'm saying? This is a different PSG that everyone's playing now. They added Kvaratskhelia. They've got a way of playing. They've clicked. I can't see PSG bottling this one. And it is true. Big up Myers. It's true. When we watch the Champions League, how far we have fallen, how far football's fallen, because this is what we love. We love end-to-end football. We love thrillers. We love lots of goals. the emotion. We haven't had that at Chelsea. We haven't had it. We haven't had any success. You know what I'm saying? So it is what it is. But I truly think that PSG will win the Champions League. I've always got a gut feeling, and I just think that they've got it. They've got it in them. And obviously now, you know, if Arsenal get knocked out, which is my prediction, listen to the agenda. The agenda's going to be get Lego head out. They're all going to be crying again. Sack Lego head. Bottle jobs Arsenal. We ain't won nothing for 5 years. Fucking hell, even Newcastle have had a better season than us winning the Carabao Cup. You know what I'm saying? Man City could have a better season by winning the FA Cup and getting top 4. Liverpool definitely had a better season winning the Premier League. Chelsea would have a better season if we won the Conference League and Arsenal win nothing. You know what I'm saying? So there's going to be all that agenda. And then you're going to have, it's always a divide and conquer tactic, because there'll be like that goldfish come out and attacked an Arsenal, Dan from Arsenal supporter, yeah? All right. And for saying if he doesn't win the Champions League, he should be sacked. And then Goldfish is going, oh, if you scrap, well, that's it, sack the manager and scrap everything he's built because he doesn't win the Champions League. Well, that's the mentality now, because he's had 5 years. He spent almost £1 billion, you know, and he's playing anti-football. You know what I'm saying? Listen, there's nothing more that gives me more pleasure than drinking Arsenal tears. And I need that tonight. We crave it tonight. And we are all backing Luis Enrique tonight. Stone Island General, bruv. Yeah? So let's make sure that tonight's review, tonight's video, or maybe stream, but it's going to be lit, bruv. Yeah? Trust me. And facts. Big up Joey. You know, City could finish. They're only 3 points behind Arsenal. They could finish above them. Even Arsenal were included in the fight for top 5 now. You know what I'm saying? So, listen, it's fine margins. So have it right. It tells you the state of the Premier League right now. I think the Premier League's in the gutter. I really do. I think Serie A is up in its game. The League is up there. Looking much more entertaining and more exciting. Nicer football to watch. Our football is just, it's been decimated, bruv. And these owners that are coming into our football clubs. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, I want all the Arsenal tears tonight. I want them all to fucking drink them in, because they're getting too big for their boots. Yeah? And we see things they'll never see. Let's have it right. We're the fucking pride of London. Yeah? Chelsea Football Club, biggest club in London. Let's not forget that. Yeah? We might be in the gutter now. We might have fallen. But, bruv, we are the Giants. Yeah? We are the Giants. But listen, smash a like, hit a subscribe, everyone. Respect to everyone. I know there's a lot of ultras that have noticed the little attacks on the channel. It is what it is. It's because that's the price you pay for speaking the truth, and not you know what I'm saying, pushing the toxic positivity, bruv. But mate, I hope everyone's enjoyed the show, the stream. Inzaghi, Enrique, Hansi Flick, elite gaffers. But even the elite gaffers, sometimes they just can't get over the line, and that's the way it is. The one that's not elite out of all those 4 gaffers in the semi-finals is Lego Head. Let's have it right. He ain't elite, bruv. You know, he ain't won nothing of any elite level. So exactly, fuck the shadow ban, stand with the Minerals FC, let's go. Win, lose or draw, Blueco out. You know the deal. I'm stressed that everyone just smashes a like and puts their comments down below. It does help the channel. It helps override the shadow ban and all that. But we move, we continue. We will be hating on the goons tonight. And hopefully we'll be back tonight with a with a stream. Either way, bruv, if they do go through, I'm having a meltdown. I can't lie. I'll have a meltdown if that happens. Either way, we're gonna have content coming out tonight. So make sure you've got your notifications on. And respect to everyone in here. But we stand with Luis Enrique and Paris Saint-Germain tonight. Let's go. Eden Hazard played for Paris Saint-Germain as well. You know what I'm saying? It is what it is. But as always, up the Chelsea, up Middles FC, up the football heritage, no surrender mentality. We see things they'll never see. And win, lose or draw, Blue Co out. Big up to every single one of you. Every single one of you. Let's go.